I needed to move my Marullinella ember bees. They had gotten a bit of an infestation of wild from some decor that had come in. So I thought, what better than to create a little acrylic sort of see-through show tank. I found this one on Amazon. It's quite small. I knew that I'd need to move them into something bigger, but it was a good temporary home. I started off with 5 adults down to 1, but I've got lots of babies. So here I am just sort of putting this little enclosure together. It's similar to the spider houses. So they're acrylic sides with tangs and stuff on, and I've only took the plastic cover off the sides. I didn't take it off the bottom, took off the inside of the bottom but not the rest of it. So just sped this up a little bit just so it's not as boring, making sure that I get everything on and things are on in the right way. The rear of this enclosure has a little tang for the door, so you need to put the sides on in a specific way so the tangs face the back. And then here I am just literally putting on the last few of the elastics, and the only thing left here really is to put the little catch on the lid. So there's a magnetic catch on the lid. I think I'm doing this is just out of shot, so sorry for that. So just getting that fitted, taking off the little plastic coating, which was a blooming nightmare. And this just clips in and there's an elastic that holds that. So this is the thing finished now. I'll just quickly sort of show you that, turn that round, and this is a little magnetic catch that holds that. So on to sort of filling it up. Marullinella don't burrow, so we don't need a massive amount of soil. But I do put some soil in, a bit of rock, have them, move it around, manipulate it to how it sort of looks best. I've put a bit more soil in on one end to keep sort of to raise that end up a little bit, and then I go in and I put in some springtail. So the part in the front is my springtail culture, and then I just tap a few off the bit of cork that's in there. From there we just give it a bit of a spray down. And then just behind I've got a bucket of live moss that's been soaking. So this is terrestrial moss, not aquatic moss. Just sort of put that in place, make sure it's all pushed down. I did actually see something very similar on Reptiliatus's YouTube channel. Thought it was quite good, and that's what gave me the idea. So sorry if I'm sort of copying that, if any of you guys watch Reptiliatus, but I thought it was so good and I decided to sort of do one myself. So a couple of sticks in, because Marullinella do like to climb in with the leaf litter. And then finally what I do is, I might put a bit more leaf litter in actually, but finally what I do is I go over to my terrarium. I pull out a piece of Ficus pumila, so this is a live plant that sort of crawls, just to see how it does really. Put that in with a bit of a pair of tweezers. I think I put a bit more leaf litter in here now, and then just give it a little spray down and job done. And then off camera I catch and move all my, it takes me a few days actually, catch and move all my ember bees and ember bee babies. And there we have it, all finished. So it's not huge, this one, it is quite small. So after a few days, if you can see this, that lid starts to bow. You can probably make it out better at the back, and the edges come up, so there's quite a bit of a gap there that potentially the isopods can escape from. So I bought a bigger one. Already made it, I didn't build this on camera. It's got a little temperature and humidity gauge in. If you sort of have a look around this, it has got some vents that I may need to sort of put some mesh over, but I'll see how I get on with that. And then the door actually has a cross brace which supports it and hopefully stops it from bowing. That with the design, so there's some tangs that drop in the front of the door either side, so that will hopefully keep it stable. And then this actually locks with a little slide clip as well. So I quite like this. Acrylic bends when it gets humid, so it's a case of sort of suck it and see, I suppose. But on with the soil, so a bit more soil in there as before. I think I used quite a bit this time actually, because it is quite a much bigger space. But hopefully if this works, it'll be a lovely sort of show tank, so to speak. And then what we do here is we're sort of just moving stuff across. Now when I was moving stuff, so there is the large ember bee on there, when I was moving stuff, I later found one crawling up my arm, so I'm not sure at what point it went, and I found one on the worktop, so it's probably when I'm sort of moving stuff across, drop down. I think a bit later on you'll see me sort of tip some into my hand, and that may have been where I got one crawling up my arm, but just literally moving the moss over from before. Put the piece of ficus pamela in. A bit later on I cut another piece actually and put a piece on the other side of that. But get everything over, make sure I haven't sort of lost any pods to the best of my ability, although as I mentioned, I did find one walking across the worktop and one crawling up my arm. So move everything over and then pretty much tip everything in, trying not to sort of spill anything. So this is the point I think I got one crawling up my arm. I'll sort of tip it into my hand here. I'll have to watch this video back on a bigger screen and see if I can see at what point it ran up. Only a baby one. And then all we're doing here is just cutting some leaves up. So for this I've used jackfruit leaves and Indian almond leaves. So just chop those up, making sure there's a nice bed of leaf litter. So luckily I've got enough leaves to sort of cut up, but I want to make sure there's plenty of leaf litter down here, so apologies if this bit's a bit boring. And as always, if you've enjoyed this or any of our content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, leave us a comment and we'll have a little conversation going in your comments. Thanks for watching everyone, enjoy the next bit of video, and until next time.